out to the people back to do maintenance. Yeah, we gonna rock like crack when he came in. Ah, man, finally, I stumbled upon some gems. One was a recommendation, and two was me trying to dig and find something worthwhile, and I did. The first one I'll talk about is the movie About Time, which is a recommendation from Mel. Salute to Mel, man. This movie, I missed this movie, I guess, when it dropped in 2013. I guess I was deterred from watching it because of Rachel McAdams. I'm not really a Rachel McAdams type of, guy. I really don't. She's cool. She didn't do much in this film. So that's why I was, I guess is why I was so apprehensive to watching the movie when it dropped in 2013, because I saw her in it and I was deterred. Nevertheless, I'm here talking about a movie that she's in. Here we go. The movie is a brief little synopsis. It's about a guy whose dad can travel time. So I guess it was within the family. I think his father could do it. It was passed down. So tells his son that we can travel time. Just don't abuse it. You know what I mean? We can travel time, but just don't abuse it. So he discovers this quote unquote ability, and I think his first instant regarding traveling time was he wanted to. It was this girl, I guess his first love, that he was interested in. He kept making mistakes. He was trying to impress her, and he tried to, I guess, gain her love, and she declined. He was heartbroken. So he tried to find out somehow, some way, how could he fix things regarding gaining her love. Moving right along, he meets a young lady, and it was like this blind date thing. They were in the dark, and they were in his room. He liked her voice, and next thing you know, they hit it off. When he seen her, they hit it off. She was waiting on him. He was waiting on her to come out of this restaurant, and they hit it off. Come to find out, she was already with someone. So he had to go back in time to get in between her relationship so he can be with her. He sabotaged the dude so he can be with her. Now they end up hitting it off. Time goes by, they're together. He meets the parents, the whole shebang. Things are going well. Now, the woman that he liked in the past, his first love, quote unquote, comes back, and now she's interested in him. He had to make a decision. He decides to stay with Rachel McAdams. He goes home, and I guess they're living happily ever after. Okay. He has a kid, Rachel McAdams. His sister was an alcoholic. So she gets in an accident, and he goes back in time to stop the accident. In the midst of that, he went back too far, and he changed his daughter from being a daughter to a son. He goes back, like you can't go back in time that far, because you start to change things. You know what I mean? So he had to go back far enough that he wouldn't change the sex of his daughter. Follow me. Now his dad's dying of cancer, so he had to find a medium to keep his dad in his life without going back too far. And his dad ends up playing ping pong with his dad at a certain age. And his dad realizes, yo, we've done this before, right? She's like, yes. So he keeps going back, to his dad, because his dad died already. So he keeps going back in time to keep revisiting his dad, to keep having this conversation It's pretty dope, man. Pretty dope film. And you know, it's like it's a rom-com. It might be a rom-com. I think it is a rom-com. I don't really like rom-coms, but this one was decent, man. It was pretty dope. Pretty dope film. In the end, he ends up taking a valuable lesson from his dad. I think his dad was like, sometimes, you know, you might want to change something throughout the day, and sometimes you might not want to. But it's like, if you can change one thing, would you do it? So that's how he didn't abuse the time travel. He kind of, you know, let it be what it's going to be regarding certain days, and if something possibly could have, you know, bad happen, he can kind of, you know, retract things. Go watch About Time, man. About Time, I must say, I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was fire. I'll salute the Melv again for the recommendation. I'll get About Time an 8, man. I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it. Gets an 8 out of 10. All right, foreign film. Lost Bullet. I think it's a French movie. French movie. I've been in, like I said, I've been in my foreign film bag. Lost Bullet. Yeah, it was a French film because I had subtitles. So, anywho, it's about a guy who, he was a thief. He was about to steal some jewelry. I think he owed some money. He was about to steal some jewelry in a car. So he was driving through this jewelry store in a car with his brother. His quote, not his real brother, but his quote unquote brother. He raised him practically. So he's in a whip. They go through this, he's a mechanic. Like, he's a very good mechanic. He's dope. In a whip, he's going through this jewelry heist. He's about to get this jewelry. You know what I mean? About to collect all his money. Live happily ever after. Nah, fam, that wasn't it. Right through the wall. Kept going through, the car wouldn't stop. Think something happened to the brakes. He just kept going through the walls. Boom, boom, boom. Ends up getting caught by the police. His brother ends up getting away. He ends up doing a bid. He comes home. His brother's working for these henchmen, and he's trying to restart his life. In the midst of that happening, while he's locked up, the cops, it's like a bargaining tool. They're like, yo, if you help us, we'll help you. Get out of here. Like some sort of work release program. You have to build our engines so we can keep up with these guys that are, you know, committing heists. He agrees. He builds these barricades in the front of the cars so they can, you know, ram the cars, you know, and it won't harm the engine. Great idea. It was a brilliant idea. So the guy was pretty dope. He was a dope mechanic. He ends up helping this detective because they're trying to find these people that are committing these crimes, you know, and they keep speeding away. So he ends up working with this detective and building their police cars. The engines, and, you know, putting these barricades on the cars. Now, in the midst of that, he stumbles upon his brother who's working for these French gangsters. These guys up to no good. He's trying to convince his brother not to deal with them anymore, but his brother's like, yo, I'm making money. You know, I'm making a lot of money doing this. How else am I going to support myself without making some money? You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? So he ends up trying to, I guess, save his brother in the midst of saving himself and trying to solve a crime because they were dirty cops. Okay, boom, now I know where I'm at. So one of the cops killed the detective that he was working for, and they're framing him. They put in the crime, and he's trying to convince the force that it wasn't him. Now, a young lady that he was interested in before he was locked up, she was working with the police. He's trying to convince her that, you know, he had nothing to do with this guy's murder, that was trying to help him. So he's trying to convince her, he's trying to convince the law enforcement it wasn't him, and he's trying to save his brother from, like, these French gangsters. I know. The movie is definitely, it's an action flick, it's drama. The action sequences were dope regarding the cars. It was some of the realest things I've ever seen. Like, honestly, like, it wasn't some CG bullcrap. This CGI bullcrap, this was official. It's official tissue, man. His brother ends up getting killed by the crooked cop. He ends up, the crooked cop ends up walking away on his wife and kid at the end. What I liked about this movie is that he didn't die. You know, normally the good guy kills the bad guy, and that's it. But this time the bad guy walked away. We know nothing. It left us with a question mark. I like those films. Make more films like that. You know, it leaves us to our own interpretation. I'm with it. I am with that 100%. Don't always get the guy, you know, he stumbles upon him somehow, some way. The good guy finds him, killing him. I don't like that. I don't like that. Give us some realism, because sometimes the villain actually gets away temporarily. That leads up for a sequel, if you want to do that. You know what I mean? But Lost Bullet is a good movie. Lost Bullet gets a 7.5, man. It's a French film. Go check out Lost Bullet. Go check out About Time. Tune in for next week, man. Until the next episode. Hold it down. Pardon my back. Salute. Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe.